Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. My name is 3-Chord Dave and today we are talking about the double neck guitar in a brief history of the double neck guitar. Yes, we're going to talk about the double neck guitar, and of course it is probably one of the iconic images of guitar and one that everybody thinks is very rock and roll. But did you know that the double neck instrument actually goes as far back as the Renaissance, which for you history buffs out there was between 1400 and 1650 AD, so that's like a lot of years ago. And yeah, it pretty much, there was lutes that they have found which look a little bit like this one over here, which kind of looks like two ukuleles pushed together, but whatever. So they were around, people were using them at that point. In the middle 1800s, there was something called a contra guitar was created, also known as a Schremmel guitar, or Schremmel guitar? Anyway, it was invented in Vienna, developed in Vienna, where it was quite popular, and they had 9 bass strings on top, a fretless fretboard neck, and then also just a standard 6-string fretted guitar on the bottom. And that looked a little bit like this. And that was probably one of the more, the first attempts at a more modern kind of double neck guitar. Nowadays, of course, the most common configuration of a double neck is to have a 12-string on top and a 6-string on the bottom. And that configuration is what Jimmy Page has used, is what Slash has used, is what Alex Lifeson has used. It's, you know, mostly a double neck guitar. That's what you're getting. But of course, there's all kinds of different versions. People like Geddy Lee and Mike Rutherford, in fact, use a 12-string and a 4-string bass. So, you know, there's different configurations, fretless and fretted, all kinds of things like that. Our good friend Elvis Presley, here he is right here holding his Gibson bass and 6-string double neck. So that's Elvis. If Elvis played it, come on, then it's cool. Of course, Gibson are probably the most famous double neck guitar because of the likes of Led Zeppelin and so on. So their first production model that was a double neck was called a double mandolin, and that came out in 1958. It's also known as the EMS 1235. Yeah, that's right, EMS 1235. And that was basically 2 6-string guitars, but the top one was a shorter scale and tuned an octave higher. So it wasn't really a mandolin at all. And then a 6-string electric guitar as normal would be. And that looked like this. Now, on those guitars, what a lot of people did on the shorter scale neck was convert it into a more true mandolin. So they would add 2 more tuners and a different bridge, or just the bridge. And then they would have 8 strings, obviously, and a proper mandolin that they could use. And that was quite popular as well. So that was in the run from Gibson from 1958 until 1968. I believe they actually started making true mandolin versions of it later on once they saw people were doing it anyway. And that brings us to the EDS 1275. Now the EDS 1275 was introduced in 1963, and of course it was a standard double neck for the most part. So you had 12 strings and a 6-string, and that is what you were looking at. It was available in 4 colors: black, cherry, sunburst, and of course white, which would become very popular as well. Now that ran from 1963 until 1968, but then went off the market, and it was a little bit of a time before it came back. In fact, it was 1974. Of course, what had happened to music in that time? Why had the double neck come back? Well, this fella called Jimmy Page and his band Led Zeppelin became very, very popular, and he had a couple of songs that he played his double neck on, particularly in live shows and so on. And yeah, he got photographed with this guitar and people wanted it. So Jimmy Page's EDS 1275 was a special order from Gibson, and it propelled the guitar back into production. So from 1974 until 1998, in fact, it was part of the standard Gibson USA range, and those 4 original colors were available. Since 1998, the EDS 1275 has only been available as a custom shop special order. So if you want one, you gotta have some cash, at least if you want one from Gibson. So that's how that worked out. And of course now you can order kind of custom colors and all that sort of stuff as well. So Lots of choices if you want a double neck from Gibson. These of course are played by people like Steve Miller, Steve Clark, Alex Lifeson, and now even Slash, people like that. So, you know, they've been used widely across music for a long time. People like Lita Ford as well use a double neck. There are lots and lots of people have used them. If you don't have the cash for a custom shop model, of course, there is a Epiphone version, the G1275, and those are not readily available, but a lot easier to get than the custom shop models. If you are in the market for a double neck that looks a little bit like an SG kind of body shape, you can also look at Thomann, because they do have their version, the Harley Benton DC 612, which is only available one color in cherry, comes in a hardshell case, and that is 499 euros. Now, I will leave a link to that in the description below. That will be an affiliate link, but if you click on it, literally they give you points as an affiliate, so it's not like you're going to be charged more. It'll cost you exactly the same amount of money. Of course, Gibson were not the only company making double neck guitars way back in the 60s. In fact, here are a couple of other examples. So this is a Mosrite Joe Mathis double necks. It's a 6-string and a 12-string from 1966. As you can see, it has seen better days, but some people dig that and it's pretty cool. Now here we have a Fender Custom Shop 1960 double neck Stratocaster. This, obviously, it's a custom shop, so it's a newer version, like a replica of a 1960 guitar. This will cost you about $12,000 if you wanted to pick one up. We also have here the Dan Electro DB604, which is a 6-string and a bass. And those are pretty cool as well. And especially if you're into Dan Electro guitars and their aesthetic, which a lot of people are, these are pretty cool things to have in a collection as well. And you can pick them up for like less than €1,000. So pretty good deal on those, I would say. In recent years, of course, we have had Slash being the biggest star, probably playing the EDS 1275 or the double neck guitar. In fact, I don't really see many other people playing them because they are so damn heavy. But Slash, of course, did have his signature edition come out in 2019, because of course he did, because Slash has a signature of everything. And in fact, I'm just waiting for the Slash SG signature model to come out, because pretty much that's the only guitar he doesn't. He even has a Firebird signature, which he played for one song on the Not in Your Lifetime, or Not in This Lifetime tour with Guns N' Roses. So one song gets you a signature model, apparently, with Gibson. Interesting idea. Anyway, guys, that's just been the briefest of brief histories about the double neck guitar. Just wanted to show you some examples and give you a little bit of history on it. I'd love to know your thoughts on a double neck guitar. Have you played one? Do you own one? Would you like one? And in what configuration would you like to have? Obviously, there are a lot of different ways you could have it set up. You could have 12-string and a 6-string, which is probably, as I said, the most common. Or you could have something like a bass, or you could have a fretless guitar on top. You could have a short scale. You know, let me know what your thoughts are and what you think. I personally think that they're too heavy, but hey, that's just my own thoughts. But when I was younger, I really wanted one because I thought they were the coolest thing ever when I saw Jimmy Page playing one. But that's just me. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining me today. It has been a pleasure. I'll be back again on Wednesday with a new video. And right at the end of the video here, there will be a recommendation for you from my channel that you should watch more videos. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And I'll see you again soon. Take care.